You're wasting your time trying to make a hit song. Welcome to the Hook Podcast. Welcome to the Hook Podcast. I'm your host, DG the Artist.
DG the
and
Artist.
I am joined with...
I'm Risk.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
Oh.
Today, we wanted to talk
Never
about
done that.
how we believe that you, and probably us, are wasting our lives trying to make that sweet hit song of the summer. But before we actually get into the proper topic for the day, we were talking, and we want to answer your questions. So as you're listening to this podcast, please, in the comments, if you have any questions, they don't have to be about music, any questions
really
you
good
have.
Advice. I give really good advice. I can't speak for these bozos, actually.
Don't
Risk
listen to
gives-
me. I will give you bad advice and smile.
So
We
there's the
We'll
the
all
two
try.
sides.
We'll
You have
all
a
try.
spectrum. You have a spectrum going on.
Exactly. All my homies are on the spectrum. Anyway, please leave your questions in the comments as you're watching this video. And if we like your questions, we will put them on screen in the next episode and talk about them.
And you can be featured in the next episode of The Hook.
I gotta think about
And
it.
if you get chosen, we will send 5 Bitcoin to the wallet address you provide us.
Why are you
That's
doing
not true.
this?
We're not
Why are
doing
you
that.
doing
We're not
this?
going to
Don't
send.
do that.
I
Don't
don't
We're
do
not
even have a
sending
fraction
Bitcoin.
of
We're
a
not
5
We're not
Bitcoin.
sending Bitcoin.
I don't even have
We're
a
not sending any
0.05
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
No Bitcoin. So when we put this little provocative title on this video, what do we mean?
Here's
by
the
that?
thing. You know
into it.
what we mean. Because and the thing is, you know what we mean, and you're still playing into it. And I'm going to break it down
You're
for
like,
you, okay?
wait, maybe someone will really tell me something new here.
You're not getting anything new, nothing insightful
Actually,
in
here's
this
what
podcast.
we think. You're wasting your time trying to make a hit song. All right, turn the cameras off.
Stop making
Thank you,
music.
guys.
No more songs.
Let us know
already
what your
have all the
questions are.
songs. we already have Bad and Bougie. We don't need more
We
music.
don't need more.
We have
There's Happy Birthday and there's Bad and Bougie. What more could you ask for?
Exactly.
Here's what we need more of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good shit.
right.
Mhm.
Right? Making a hit song, that concept of that is taking a framework of what people think works and then trying to play by those rule books.
Right.
It's trying to copy the thing that's already been done because it's been shown to lead to some sort of success.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's already been done. And now this isn't something like a general business. When you're making music, you're making a medium of art that people can engage with. And so if you're going to take the time to do that, you don't want to do the exact same thing someone else just did because it's already been done. You want to take the ideas that you have and bring those into life
Right.
and make that something special.
Right.
Yeah. Just the fact that we're so fixated on these algorithms that it really dampens the creativity that we put into our art, or it makes us feel like maybe we need to dampen the creativity, because if you're making something really cool and interesting, then maybe the algorithms won't fuck with it, you know, or like
Right.
maybe it's not going to be picked up right away.
Yeah, and there is that's the thing. Like, I mean, I met these two at an open mic night that we both go to pretty regularly, and at these open mic nights, every week without fail, I see somebody where I'm like, this person should be a superstar.
Right.
You know, there is so
Yes.
much untapped potential in the world that, like, when you're an up and coming artist, there is such a feeling that you need to like feed into that and make that
Right.
hit song, because otherwise you're just not going to be recognized. But realistically, when you look at the people who do make it, it's usually not people who are like, I'm going to make a hit song.
Right.
It's people who are doing something unique,
Right.
and that gets picked up as a hit song.
Right.
Because it resonates with people in a way that something hasn't resonated with them before.
Yes.
Now, let's give a practical example. We were
Yeah.
just singing this entire day
Somber.
somber
Yeah.
songs.
Mm.
Somber is a relatively
12.
recent artist to be successful.
Back to being friends.
And now his songs, no matter what you think of them, are not the general playbook of songs being pushed on TikTok,
Right.
on the media. He's crafted his own like alt indie rock sound, and that thing has taken off because it's his own sound. It resonates with him.
And it's
it generally
gorgeous.
sounds exactly.
And it's pretty. It's something that he obviously loves. There's so much passion behind it. It's interesting because when I went to VidCon earlier this year.
Show off.
No, I wasn't invited. Hey, I paid my way there.
What are you, some kind of YouTuber
Some of
or
us have
something?
jobs.
I wanna be. It's just so
One-
interesting. 'cause,
One
like,
of us has a job.
I've lost them. Well, so one of the sessions we were in, they were talking about how if you look at examples in movies, it was kind of like a general discussion on branding, right? And this speaker was saying, if you look at movies, you look at the people who made like some super avant-garde movie. It's beautiful. It's a piece of art. It's creative. It's new. It's exciting. And then you look at how it did in the box office. It's like, oh, you're not rewarded for making good art all the time, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at every single movie Tom Cruise is in is basically the exact same like setup, conflict resolution. Like he's like playing the same character in every movie that he's the formula. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And those always are like box office hits. But he was really being like, on the one hand, don't get fixated on being like too much of an artist. Don't be like, you know, extremely precious about your art where it's like, I'm completely new and that makes me super cool and no one gets me and that's a good thing. Yeah. Like that's one side of the spectrum. But then the other side is like, don't get too fixated on making a box office hit. Right. Unless that's like something that you're genuinely having fun with, right? Because you can get so mired in the anxiety of doing that, and it's not always going to be, nothing is guaranteed regardless. So it's kind of like, don't make that your goal if it's might not even work anyway.
This is so true. And I'm thinking, I want to really clear up that by the title of like what we're saying in the title of this video is not like, oh, you know, sacrifice all the things that make a song good traditionally and do your own thing, like you know, just like bang on the keyboard and
but truly
put
just
that
make art you want.
But yeah, do what you want to do. Don't be doing this to like appease whatever. Like there are certain things where it's like, okay, there's skills you can build up. You can build up your singing skills. You can build up your, you know, songwriting skills, your mixing skills, mastering skills, production skills. All those things, like these are things you can get better at, and it's good to feel like you're improving. But like you don't need to be, you know, when you're doing those, once you have a skill already developed, you don't need to be like, okay, now how can I use that skill to make the biggest hit ever? Yeah. You know, you should make what's really what you get true inspiration from.
I would even say, to like piggyback off that, you should be doing that, but it's the idea of what a hit is that I think is the problem. Right? There's this conception of what a hit song is that isn't necessarily true, and it's backed up by the formula of things that have worked because people have those resources. They have a backing of industry. They have the marketing budget to push out in front of you, but that's not where we are, and that's not who we are. So that's not the game we can play. The game we can play is trying to make a quote-unquote hit, but instead of the formulaic, this is the thing, it's you making your thing as good as possible with the intention of it like smashing every wall.
That's it.
We found it, boys.
That's it right there. Yeah. And like I want to talk about this a little bit too with how it relates to my most recent song. So I dropped a song a couple weeks ago called Fukuoka, and it's like it's probably the most like poppy song I've ever made. Like it's like, you know, it when I was writing it, I was like, this kind of feels like something that you would hear on the radio, or like it's sort of like pop music, you know, like whereas normally I go for like more weird rap shit, you know, or like more like outside the usual type of music. And like I didn't do that because I'm trying to make a proper radio hit. It's like I was on an island in Vietnam and I was like, life is good. It's summer. And that lends itself to that type of song. Right. You know, I didn't make that song because I wanted to make the song of the summer that's going to be on the radio. Yeah. I made that particular song, which happens to be in that lane of like mainstream pop hit, because that was like,
that's where you were.
That's where I was at the time. You know what I mean?
I think that there is like I think there's going to be a bit of a counter to the, you know how everything in culture kind of goes like cyclical. It goes to one side and then there's like a correction, right? I think there's been a major thing to one side of like, here's what the algorithm likes. Let's make something that is so earwormy, like it's going to catch you and you can repeat it on TikTok a billion times. Yeah. But now I think that because we're a little bit sick of that, or maybe just like algorithms, we're sick of algorithms where we want to hear something new. We want something that isn't like the exact same thing that we listened to yesterday. I think because of that, more people are becoming interested in hearing like unique sounds. So there is more of a celebration now of like, or at least I'm kind of seeing it, especially in the artists that I'm meeting. I'm just seeing like, whoa, you're so interesting. You're doing something that only you could make, not because you're like, I'm an artist, but because you're you and there's no other you.
You know why
I
love what you're saying like really deeply? Because I think the main fear here is that if you're not making the thing, the hit, that no one's going to listen and nobody's going to care and it's going to fly by the ears, and the best shot that you have is to do the thing everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
And copy.
Totally,
And
yes.
exactly. But the whole what you're saying right now is it's actually the opposite, or at the very least, we can see it turning
like
into
a
the
shift.
there's a
Yeah.
shift happening
Yeah.
Right.
where actually doing that's gonna like lower the number. It's gonna lower
Yeah.
your chance because you're just making the same thing as everybody else.
I know I'm scrolling off as soon as I hear someone say, "I just made the song of the summer." I'm going, "No, next video."
right.
You know?
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's a lot of nuance in this as well, because the marketing is not necessarily, doesn't necessarily apply to the marketing, right? There's ideas in marketing and how you promote your stuff
Yeah.
that might be evergreen, as in like they might just always work and you can just replay the same systems. But when it
Yeah.
comes to art and being able to connect on that level, it's not limited by those same
Totally.
restrictions. And so
Yes.
it's really like a distinction between where you're marketing, where you're doing the business, and where you're making something new to give to the world.
Yeah.
That in itself can be a hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
okay,
true.
so going off of that, I like that you mentioned, your recent release. I think we should get into kind of like the inspirations behind, because
Yeah.
I think all of us have released something within the last like
Yeah.
couple months.
New shit.
New shit.
Yeah.
Bang, bang,
So
bang,
so this was one of the main topics we really wanted to get into in
Yeah.
this episode is where we all take inspiration, because we're talking a
Yeah.
lot of shit at you, the viewer, because you are
You
just
wanna make something
wasting your time like an
Uh-huh.
absolute loser
Like a fool.
trying to make this
Goofball.
amazing song that
Like
everyone's gonna love.
The
But-
song of the summer. You think you're Drake? You think you're Tay Swift? Get over your. No,
but what are we doing?
Bullying
we're
our
also
audience?
we're also trying. Yeah, bully- I'm
Some
sorry.
guy,
I love
some
you.
guy just sent us $5 on Cash App for bullying him.
Yeah, no, but
So thrown off.
yeah, no. I mean, we're talking a lot of shit about don't do this,
Et
do
cetera, et
this.
cetera, right?
I want to hear actual lived experiences of
Yeah.
that have inspired the songs that you both have made.
Yeah,
So
like what
I mean,
is
I talked a little bit about my most recent song, but I'm curious about. Let's go with you first.
Oh.
Your most recent song is. Are you okay?
Bullying myself. What's
Um,
so
it's-
funny is your dad is a big fan of
Yeah.
me.
Shapeshifter is not newer, right? Or
It is the newest one.
Is Shapeshifter
Yes,
newer?
yeah.
Okay.
Digital Decay
Digital Decay
is the one
not
that
newer.
okay, so I just heard that I have a huge fan in DG's father, which is huge for me.
MG.
Hey, I'm up.
Yeah.
We're up. We've made
Yes.
it, boys.
My dad shared her song on Facebook. So that was-
but
that
I
was
did
pretty
make
dope.
the music video for that
Mhm.
only recently because I was sitting on the footage for forever, which
I
is why
see.
it
Okay.
looks like a more recent release.
Yeah, I was
but
thinking Shapeshifter was newer, but yeah.
Shapeshifter is technically
okay, cool.
newer. Yeah.
So I'm curious though, which one do you want to talk about? What do you feel
I'll
like
talk about
has a more interesting
Shapeshifter
story?
because I think
Okay.
it's kind of in the vein of things that we've mentioned even in episode 1 of this podcast.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say before you
Yeah.
get into it, I think Shapeshifter is my favorite song of yours. It's so good. So if y'all haven't listened to Shapeshifter, I don't know why you're even watching this podcast.
Okay, pause it. No,
This-
wait. Well, maybe finish it in the
It's
clip.
all right.
Yeah.
It's all
I do
right.
have a hater on the other side of the couch.
It's all right.
But yeah, no, please check out Shapeshifter by Risk. Great song.
Thank
and
you.
it got spotlighted on Tidal,
Did.
which
That's
is dope
huge.
as hell.
That's
Like the
actually huge.
Tidal people listened to it and
Shout out
said
to
this is
Tidal.
good. So
Love
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Love
no,
them over
good
there.
song. Really good song.
Um,
Anyway,
but
yeah,
to
I'm
get
curious
into
about it.
yeah, I started writing that because, and I think we've had conversations where everyone on this couch feels like they've gone through something similar. But like, as a neurodivergent kid, as someone, I was actually homeschooled growing up. Like, I've always had this like yearning to be understood. And I like consider myself to be a pretty charismatic person. So in some situations, in many situations, I would find myself being a bit of a chameleon in whatever, setting that I would be in. Whether it's like at work and trying to make friends there, or I'm at a party and I'm meeting new people, I would kind of shift myself a little bit so that I could be liked and enjoyed. And I realized that that was actually detrimental to like who I was, because I went through this period where I was extremely depressed and I didn't recognize myself. So I'm kind of sitting there being like, why do I hate myself, and why do I actually not fuck with any of the friends that I've made? Like, why am I feeling so lonely when I'm supposed to be around friends? Like, oh, maybe I don't like these people. Why don't I like these people? Oh.
I hope this isn't targeted at us.
Hey, this sounds a little familiar.
And
Realizing a
guys,
lot of
that's why
things.
I'm leaving the podcast now.
yeah. As such, this will be my last episode. Thank you so much. No, but like I think the way that I kind of like get inspiration, I always start with like, what is something that I'm like either really struggling with or that feels really true to me.
Mhm.
The way that I write is like, things are always just words are pouring out of me. I keep the notes app on me. Okay,
Words are
I keep
pouring
that
out of me is a
motherfucker
beautiful,
on me.
it's a beautiful phrase.
Yeah.
Phrase.
I have so many feelings that if I don't process them through putting them on a page, not necessarily, I don't write songs. Like I'm not sitting down and I'm like writing my song being like, okay, here's what I'm feeling. I'm always just kind of being like, what the hell am I feeling right? Like, why I'm at a party and I hate everyone here. Let me write that down. And then when I'm like actually sitting down to make
experience.
a song. Exactly. When I'm actually sitting down to write the song, I'll go back through all my notes apps and be like, what have I written in the past that connects to like what this vibe of this song that I want to write is. Don't
That's
say
so
the
cool.
vibe. It's not safe around these parts.
It's fine.
It's not safe.
That's so hard.
Literally, like, I'm going to
sorry.
record people saying that, and that's going to be my, like, Halloween. I'm going to bring that up.
They hate you because they ain't you.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it's mutual. We hate each other.
Yeah.
But no, so that was, like, the quote-unquote inspiration, and that's how a lot of my songs kind of start, which is just
so
being,
it
like...
comes from just the actual, like, almost like diary entries of
Yeah.
your life.
I thought you were
And
going
then
to say
put it
diarrhea, and I was like, yes, word diarrhea, yes.
Yeah, no, but then you like convert that into a song.
Yeah.
Do you like look at the things you've written and take lines that you like and make it into
Yeah,
a verse, or do
yeah.
you just like do you come up with that in the studio when you're recording, or do you do it beforehand? Like, what's that process
Good question.
like?
I mean, really, it is like sometimes I will have like a nugget that I've written that actually like sounds like poetry, and then I'll be like, okay, no, this is hitting.
Right.
Let me go
That's the
throughout
hook or
my
whatever.
or just like it's like exactly nailing the feeling that I want to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll kind of go throughout my notes app and like all the things that aren't in kind of poetry form already. I'll be like, oh, but you really nailed like another feeling that fits into that. Let me see if I can reword it to fit into more of like a lyrical nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go from there. But yeah, it's just like it was a profound loneliness and a profound hatred of myself and being like, maybe I should stop people pleasing to the point that I'm not being myself. And what does myself even look like?
Right.
You know,
if you're constantly shapeshifting, what's even
I'm
the
tired, Grandpa.
real
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
generally how my process looks, and the inspiration is usually from my own suffering. So
That's I was about to say that's awesome, and then you said my own suffering, and I was like,
Awesome.
oh yeah,
Oh.
really happy to hear that.
Yeah,
No,
but it is
but
it is
yeah,
a very
that's-
cathartic process as
Yeah.
well, which is the nice thing.
Being able to channel what you're actually going through
Yes.
into music, and then
Yeah.
like one of my favorite things is once you record it and you have a demo to listen to.
Mhm.
Holy shit, that is the only thing I'm listening to for the next
Totally.
week.
No, totally.
You know, it's like
yes.
because you're able to. And the only way you can do this is if you're not trying to just make a hit.
Yeah.
You're able to bottle up your
We're back.
your real deep feelings about whatever's going on in life and make a song out of it. And like songs are one of those things that like, you know, when somebody else makes a song that you really connect with, like
Yeah.
you just, you know, it hits you on another level. And then when you are able to do that for yourself, it's just like,
It's like thank God.
nothing can beat that. you
It's
know?
in
It's
words
like,
now. It's outside of myself.
yeah, like I swear before You Deserve the World dropped, like the album, I was just listening to that constantly back to back because that was like, it became therapy to just hear myself make all these songs, you know? It's like, yeah,
Yes.
so that's just, yeah, it's a great thing.
I'm so interested to hear specifically from Mr. Vibe over here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I love your songwriting so much because you're not always you somehow take what I think we like have in common in our experiences, which is like, oh, I'm going through something, and
Yeah.
it's like, but then you make it fun.
Yeah.
Like, so what's that about? How does
Yeah.
that come out?
Well,
You
that
say things that I'm scared to say too. I'm
like
not
what? Wait, like what? Or like give me.
I mean, that
Uh,
whole song and Pop Shove It has some crazy lyrics in it
Yeah, oh,
too.
that's so. Yeah,
But yeah, no, sorry, I interrupted. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I
Where
have
does your
a lot of
inspiration
different
come from?
a lot of different frames that I create music from, and I'm really intentional about that. Generally, I have like this deep insecurity and limiting belief that I'm not very relatable, and so I think if I make a song that's actually about me, no people will care less than if I take something that is me and then almost depersonalize it.
Okay,
and
word,
in
yeah.
that way, it's like there's that universal human experience that's there, and I turned that into that song.
So do you you find like a feeling that you're going through or your experience or whatever, and then you're like, how do I generalize this?
It's not even that. It's like I can only explain it from like, it's as if I strip away my personal identity from it and just leave that pure feeling. And I think I'm So Alone. I have a song called I'm So Alone, which is literally about being deeply lonely. I think that's my perfect representation, because I made that song in the actual state of like extreme deep loneliness. And so I was just really connected to that feeling, and I allowed that feeling itself, like devoid of me and my own personal interests and likes, I allowed that feeling to like guide how I produced it, the lyrics and songwriting. And because of that, and because of the frame of like, this is not personal, this is what is this actual feeling. This feeling is I'm so alone, I'm dying. And there's nothing personal about that, but it's like a universal.
Well, it is personal because that's what you're feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
But I see what you mean. You make it more generalized.
I like universal
or relatable.
So why do you do that? Why don't you?
Because I'm insecure that nobody cares about me and the things.
Okay,
that I
well,
like.
then interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that insecurity will go away?
Oh yeah.
But then how do you think that's gonna?
Well, I already know.
Process?
I know that it's not real. Like if I wanted to make a song, I know if I want to make a song that's actually personal, I have, and I've done that a bunch. I could, but I think what I'm trying to build right now is something that's can be universally experienced anyway.
This checks out with your name too. It's the vibe.
Yeah,
you're making songs about a vibe.
Yeah, it sounds like
that you have experienced.
It sounds like maybe you have mental illness.
It sounds like maybe we should call.
Yeah. Sounds like.
But I'm trying to figure out if you're the man I'm dissing here, where like you're like I can tell you're not just trying to make a hit out of it.
Yeah.
But you're saying
trying
you're
to make great
you're taking
art. Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's like when you're writing a song, for example, I think it's more apparent in like lyrics, because you can tell like personal experience in that more than anything else. I saw like Phineas, Billie Eilish's brother, talk about this. How there's a bunch of songs that's like, I went to Trader Joe's and got an ice cream sandwich and had an ice cream sandwich on a swing, and it's so specific
really good,
to your actual life experience.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
Whereas I can say something that may not be that may be more abstracted and maybe seem more generalized, but it can be applied to anyone in any given experience. So I want for the kid in Australia or New Zealand or Japan, or whether you're like 80 years old or 6 years old, to hear a lyric or feel what's being made, and you're able to
and
relate
you can connect
to
the feelings that you
exactly.
have had. Okay, that's a cool way of seeing it.
That's actually so interesting, because I know not so many, but I know some artists who are like, I hate it when people come up to me and they're like, this song is about this. You know, because they're like, well, no, it was about this.
Right.
But then I love that you're on the other side of that, because it's like, okay, sure, yeah, they could be that
exactly.
for you. Hey, tell me what you thought about.
That's cool.
How you related this to your life.
That is cool. And you're not. I don't know if I would even say you're depersonalizing it, because I feel like that's sort of a way.
Yeah, it's very charged.
Yeah, that makes it sound like a bad thing.
Yeah, okay.
Like that makes it sound like you are doing the thing where you're just trying to make a hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what you're doing is not depersonalizing it, but you're
detaching,
distilling.
Oh,
there we go. Hey.
Don't try to. You're wasting your time making a hit. You should be distilling.
Yes.
Yeah. You're
the
like,
mind of a brewer.
You're taking exactly. Yeah. It's like I am making pickles, but you've got the pickle juice.
Crazy.
You know, they do tell me I make great pickles.
No one says that. No one says that.
I do hear that often.
I think most of my songs are pretty specific to me. But one that I'm thinking about that is actually a word we've said today is intentional, off my most recent album. Yeah. I actually kind of want to talk about the inspiration for that song, because it's like I think it really lends itself to the conversation we've been having. So for those who haven't heard the song, it's kind of about like how I feel like usually I am very intentional about the way I act, because like, I'm an overthinker, and so most of the time I'm just like really planning out what I'm going to say, and I'm like able to keep my emotions in check because of that. And I don't really let myself get too emotional with people around me or in public situations. But sometimes the emotions are too much.
Yeah, they build up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like scientifically proven.
But when but when that happens, I like regret it so much after because I'm like,
Yeah.
normally I'm so good at this.
Yeah.
Why did I let that go?
Oh, that's so good.
And
Can you give me an example of what that looks like?
I want to do
Okay,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
awesome.
so when I actually wrote this song, it was after like some of the most like one of the most empathetic experiences I've ever had. like the most empathy I've ever felt for somebody.
Oh wow, what
potentially.
happened?
So there was a friend of mine who, like, you know, I'm not going to go into too many
The
details because
details.
this is their story to tell, but basically, you know, they got very upset at someone in like a more public setting and kind of like yelled loudly, and then like we left the room together because I was like, okay, I want to help this person through this, and they were kind of like, you know, very upset, just very emotional, upset at themselves for how they acted and stuff, and yeah, like I saw that and I was like, I've been there so many times, especially like as a kid, and I just have never like seen myself in somebody so much as I did in that instance.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to write a song about this.
Okay.
Wow.
And like seeing it from the perspective of somebody else, like, because in that situation I was the level-headed one. I was the one who was like, okay, we need to leave. Let's go out here and talk about this. And just
and I'm
like,
sure
you know,
you also didn't fault the person for their.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
There was I was not like judging this person at all because I was like, I've been there. Like I
Yeah.
relate so heavily to this, and I like.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I just it was like, for me selfishly, it was like a nice moment
but
because
that's
I
so
was like, I just I relate so much to what you're going through right now and all the emotions you're feeling. I'm like, I've been there, and I feel like most people aren't like that. I don't know if it's some neurodiversity thing or whatever it is, but
in terms of being able to understand.
no, in terms
their
of like
shoes?
in terms of that specific thing where
like
it's
the
like
boiling.
you sort of boil up and get very angry and feel like you
You
just
lash
want to like
out.
punch through a wall or something. you
Yeah,
know?
I get you.
Yeah.
Normally I'm very collected and stuff, and so is this friend of mine too. Like, you know, you wouldn't suspect that emotions can really get to a person like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it does, you know.
I
So
think, I don't know.
yeah.
I think there are some people that it takes a lot for them to have, like, you know, the final straw. But I think everyone's got a line, and sometimes you just go and overstimulation for sure can that's like a huge
oh yeah,
trigger.
definitely.
But it's so beautiful to hear as well that it sounds like seeing somebody else go through something and you're able to give them grace is almost like giving yourself grace.
Yeah,
That's
I learned a lot
really
from it. I
beautiful,
was like,
yeah.
like, holy shit. Like, it kind of made me realize that I'm not like an inherently problematic individual when things like this happen. Because I was like, okay,
You're
I'm seeing this
human.
happening and I still have the utmost respect for this friend of mine. You know, I'm not going to, like, after this, I'm not going to think, oh, wow,
Yeah.
bad person.
Can't
you
believe
know?
they did that.
Yeah,
Right.
none of that.
Actually,
it's just
I'm
like,
better than you now.
Yeah.
no,
I love every opportunity I get to do that.
no, it was really just like wow, like, you know, you're human too.
Right.
I fully relate. I have no ill feelings towards anything that just happens, and I'm like sorry that your emotions, like, that you got, that, you know, that things got to you that much, and it did have to blow up like that. Like, that sucks, you know. And so yeah, I think experiencing that, seeing that in another person, finally gave me the words, and I actually tried to write the song like almost from that friend's perspective.
Oh, that's
even though
beautiful.
I've like been there too.
That's
you know?
amazing.
And it was like, yeah.
Well, that's kind
yeah.
of another thing. Like, getting outside of yourself can sometimes help.
Yeah. Yeah, it can. So, I mean, there's somewhere where you can get inspiration.
Wait, so
talk to your friends.
I'm curious though.
If you have them.
Is
If you have
that
friends.
common for you? Do you find that you make a lot of songs from like an acute experience like that? Or is it because, like, I'm very philosophical. Like,
Right.
I'm always thinking about how I'm feeling, and I'm always like ruminating on it, and then I kind of go from there. It's not exactly like one experience, you know?
I think it really depends on the song for me. I also, you know, as a rapper, a lot of times I'll write a song that's more like punchline based, and it's not even really about like a specific feeling.
about
Maybe
being
it's just
clever.
like a fun, clever
Yeah.
wordplay type song.
Right.
So I would count those out of this entire conversation.
Okay.
But for the ones that are more like me, like like introspective, personal, I feel like it's pretty 50-50. Like, I would say, you know, Might Quit off my album was like I recorded all of that, like I didn't write anything before I went into the studio for that song. I was like, I'm feeling these emotions right now. Like in the beginning,
I love those
in the beginning,
moments.
you can even hear in the background them saying, I'm jet lagged. Like I'm screaming that. I was legit. I just came back from Vietnam like that day.
Yikes.
And I was
Global.
like jet lagged as fuck.
No.
So I'm
Worldwide.
just on the mic and
Dedication.
I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm jet lagged. Like I was so tired. I didn't know what's going on, you know? And so that just came
Kinda
out.
some
And it's like,
freedom.
that was like a very personal, like this instant, this is what I'm feeling type song.
Yeah.
And then I have other stuff where it's like more like what you said, where it's like you're collecting all your emotions in general. And I would say like You Deserve the World off my album is like that. But yeah, I guess it's very 50-50. It's like whether it's a storytelling song or more of like a just general feeling type song for me. But yeah, I can do
storytelling
both.
is interesting. That's a good word to use.
Yeah, I mean like the first song on my album, Feeling, has the whole verse is just about what it was like when I dropped my previous album and trying to get that to be seen by more people. Yeah, and that is very much like just telling a story. Like that's not like my overall feelings about something. That's like, this is what happened. Take it or leave it. You know? And so yeah, I do that a lot too. I like just being able to sort of stream of consciousness. This is what happened. You know? There's no deeper. There's no distillation. Distillency.
Disgusting.
Here's exactly what happened.
There's none of that. It's just here's the story.
The account.
This is the account.
This is the historically accurate account.
Play by play. Yeah. So I got another question for you, for both of you. We're talking about where we get our inspiration and stuff, and a lot of this is very abstract. It's like, oh, I felt a thing, or oh, I did a
I
thing.
do be feeling a thing.
But yeah, you know, people really do be feeling things.
Caught a feeling.
People feel things. But I'm curious because sometimes you can get inspiration for songs or just like, it doesn't even need to be inspiration for a song, just like inspiration to live, you know, from something that you just enjoy doing, you know? And so my answer here is obvious. I love Rubik's Cubes. You know it. You all know it if you're here. I'm a cuber at heart. But
so you're basically saying like something that you do outside of music, outside of art, that like enriches you as a person.
Yeah, because I think if you're constantly in your room trying to write a song, you know, if this is what if you read the title of this video and it resonated with you,
sounds like my life.
if all you're all you're doing,
hey, your life is hell. Got it.
Yeah, I know.
If all you're doing is wasting your time, wasting your life trying to make the hit, you're just sitting in you're not.
This is a crazy cackle coming from the vibe over here.
Then what's happening is you're not getting any actual real life experiences to pull from. You don't have hobbies. You don't have anything. You don't have friends. Sorry if I'm calling you out. I don't want to bully you. You probably have friends.
But
you're cool people.
I think
shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
But mainly I'm curious about these two, what their things are outside of music that maybe they pull experiences from, maybe they don't. Whatever. I'm just curious what it is that enriches your life. And let us know in the comments too what enriches your life outside of listening to this podcast.
Can I give a politically inclined answer?
Interesting.
Not the wrong word. Can I give a
chart?
I forget the word.
energetically
Anyway, what I
charged.
really like to do, and I did this the
Hot
other
take?
day. The best times of my life is when I'm like not thinking about what my own stuff anymore. And the moment I'm like, okay, for right now, I'm good. I kind of switch gears into how can I help other people? How can I make someone else smile? Like, how can I engage with the community? So the other day I was in DC. And I was just giving myself the night off for the first time in a while. Yeah. And I was walking down the road, and I saw this homeless dude that I knew named Joseph. And we started talking, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, man, do you have any money for me today? And I'm like, no, but I do have $20. And so if you want to get food, I mean, I'll get you a meal. And I really enjoyed doing that because it made me feel like not a horrible person who spends all their time and energy on themselves. And for me, it's almost like a spiritual experience where I can like connect with other people, right? And I like almost throw away any degree of selfishness or like solipsism, and I can
good word.
Oh, thank you so much. I learned it the other day.
You can tell he's proud of it.
I need it. And it allows me to just like be okay with everything going on with other people, and that's really healing to me because often I can be so introverted and secluded, and and that almost refreshes my creative drive as well because it's like I can step outside of whatever thing I've been in.
That's really cool.
So I like to help the poor.
So your answer
Yeah,
is
literally crazy.
so my answer is Rubik's cubes, and your answer is being a good person.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, well that's because I feel like it is interesting that I think there was a time, at least in my life, where it was like, oh, I have to really focus in on the art of everything, and like you start to realize, oh, when I was at my most depressed, like I lost interest in a lot of my hobbies and stuff like that, and I was a worse off person for it. So I think I've been very intentional about building hobbies.
I'm so intentional.
Actually, that's to even further this question that you have for us. I would love to get into like something that is unexpected about, like something that you're interested in that is somewhat like people wouldn't assume readily about you, because we know that you're the kind of guy to like a Rubik's cube. Yeah, you're just that kind of a guy.
That kind of guy.
So, but like, do you have like a hobby or an interest that you're like, you know, on paper, I probably don't look like I'm into this.
Yeah.
I like gardening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nature.
That's cool.
Wait, what?
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not good at it yet, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, but that's I think that's part of it. Having hobbies that you're not good at.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Huge.
Oh, dude, I've been trying to learn a handstand for 6 years, and I love that I still don't know how.
Okay, do it right now. Do it
I'll
right
try.
now.
It'll be bad. I will break stuff, and I'd rather not.
Maybe don't do
Yeah,
it.
I'm not joking. I can't do it.
No, but that's like sucking at something is such a privilege.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. You get to grow and learn and develop, and
Yeah.
it's a great thing. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Keep gardening.
Because there's very few things in my life where I'm like, I don't believe myself while I'm doing them.
Yeah.
You know? Because
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this well enough. But
Right.
like, there's a couple of different things in my life where I'm like, oh, my brain isn't bullying me at like a crazy rate when I'm doing this. Wow, very nice.
Such as?
Well, I think it's a little bit. I love cooking, so it's like
Oh.
kind of obvious for who I am. I think though. So I think if I'm talking about like something that people wouldn't know to like really look at me and be like, on paper you don't look like you do that.
You build tech companies in your free time. You,
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a
a
crazy
coder.
addicted gambler.
I'm a coder.
Yeah, you've been playing blackjack
Dude,
since
you
you
know
were
that is my like
3.
ideal aesthetic. Like I want to be like, it really is.
Addicted gambler is
No,
crazy.
just like- Okay,
That's
no, because in every like TV show that I love,
Yeah.
I always relate the most to, or like TV show, book, movie, doesn't matter the format. I'm always the most related to, or I see myself the most in like the funky side character who's like extremely comedic relief, but is like has like one thing that they're like, oh, like
Right.
when they need to come in clutch in
Ping
like
pong.
a battle or something.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's
like
ping pong.
the people who are like pickpockets and like
Right.
and they're like
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, they're a little mysterious and piratey. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
I show
yeah.
up to the function and I'm like a goofball. So I'm not really aligned with who I want to be in that
Yeah.
regard yet. But
That's funny.
I really got into, because of an ex, I really got into Muay Thai.
Oh.
So I'm like really into like the fight world, which is funny because I think we were talking about
Wow.
you being into that before, but I was
Is
like, let me
this-
steal that.
Is this because you had to fight said ex?
yeah. No.
New song
He was a Muay Thai
about
fighter.
domestic-
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed at first, and then I was like, wait, because of an ex, I had to learn how to fight.
No, nothing that dramatic. He was like a big like Muay Thai fighter, and he would take me to like different competitions, and I was like, there's art to this. Like you guys look like you have poetry in motion, and you're like in the way that you're doing this, and I just got so interested. And I was like an athlete growing up as well, so I think that kind of
You swam, right?
I did,
Cool.
yeah, very
Yeah, yeah.
intensely.
Yeah.
Still have
Cool.
some records out there that have yet to be
Ooh.
broken. Yeah.
Ooh. That's dope. That's
Let's
dope.
get you guys in the pool.
Oh no. Oh no.
God.
I can swim, but not
I
fast.
believe you.
Yeah, my
I
dad
know
just-
how to swim.
My dad threw me in the deep end, and that was how I learned.
Oh my
he just
God.
picked me up
Wow.
and threw me in.
I had
Oh,
a horror story as a kid when I was in first grade. My parents took me to swim lessons at these like teenage girls' house. They were just doing it in the
Okay.
summer or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
TT
no.
the
Okay.
player.
Humble
Come on.
brag.
That's
I
crazy.
guess.
But no, anyway, they like I was a very, very scared child of like everything, but
Mm.
especially the deep end.
Oh wow.
And I was like, you won't take me in the deep end hands, right? And they were like, no. And they had me like on my back so I couldn't see where I was going, and I was like paddling, and then they like took me into the deep end.
Okay.
And I tried to put my feet down and realized I couldn't, and bro, I freaked out. It was not good.
Oh my God.
Like the trust they lost. I don't think we ever went back to them after that.
No,
it was like I don't know.
As a
broke
swim
trust with
coach
people
now,
altogether.
like
Yeah.
I'm a certified swim coach, that pains me to hear.
Yeah, I don't think they were certified. I think they just had a pool.
Yeah, oh well.
But yeah, such is life.
It is what it is.
I can swim now,
Not everybody's a good teacher. That's
and not
one
everybody's
thing.
a good swimmer either.
I could change that.
Yeah,
Hey, if you need a swim lesson, you let me know.
hit up Risk.
But I guess that would be my kind of interests or hobbies that like really fulfill my life.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because you're saying things that people don't expect, and if people know me from cubing, they don't expect that I rap, and if people know me from music, if people
You're
know
right.
me, if people know me from
Yeah.
music, they don't expect that I cube.
Yeah.
DG the
But
anomaly.
I can give you one other, which is
Yes, please.
linguistics. I'm a big linguistics nerd, minored in linguistics in college. I speak 4 languages
Say
to
something in
varying
Vietnamese.
degrees of
Crazy.
fluency.
Say
I'm
something
not.
in
I wouldn't say I'm
So
fluent in anything but
cool.
English, but I can carry a conversation in 4 languages:
What are the 4?
English, Spanish, American Sign Language, and Vietnamese.
So cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
So hit me up. I mean, if it's Vietnamese, I will need you to talk really slow, but I can get by.
That's interesting. How do you feel like that informs you as an artist? Like, what is that? How does that interest kind of?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because in like Phuc Woc, my most recent song, like, I mean, it's a Vietnamese title, and I
Mhm.
speak some Vietnamese in the song. Like, I really like being able to put that in. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do a rhyme in another language or whatever, and that's really fun. You
Yeah.
can't quite do that with ASL because it's a visual language as opposed to something that works
sure.
on a song. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I will say though, learning ASL in college made me a lot more knowledgeable about the deaf experience and like how to be a more accommodating person. So
Yeah.
I've tried to be very intentional about captioning things that I post.
Yeah.
And like, where I can, just being accommodating for those who can't hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is interesting though, because with music, obviously music is not a very like deaf friendly medium.
True.
There are deaf people who like music, either they have some hearing
Partial.
or they can feel the bass
Mhm.
or something like that.
Mhm.
It's deaf people aren't a monolith.
Right.
So it has just like informed me, I guess, as to just how to make my content more accessible for a wider audience, I guess. But yeah, still learning about that.
I just love this conversation. Just like hearing how much we try to go out and like actually experience life, and then because we're artists, that inevitably ends up becoming art, just because we are living and we're trying to like show up for our life rather than being passive, like a passive agent in it, you know?
Yeah, I'm a pacifist, but I'm not a passivist.
I'm not. Give me another Muay Thai ring.
I'm not a pacifist. I gotta fight to live, kid. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta
fight
get
your
away.
way
You gotta
out.
go, kid. You gotta fight.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Hook Podcast. We've been DG the Artist.
Risk.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
Bye, guys.
See you in the next episode. Peace. 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 Peace.
Get me out of here, Grandpa.
Peace.
You're wasting your life trying to make a hit song.
Bitch.
Trying to hit?
Trying to hit. You're wasting your time trying to hit.
Are you Italian?
No, I'm not Italian.
Have you
I'm
ever considered
heavily
becoming Italian?
Have you ever considered